At Activatila tired of streaming to zero? Let's change that only at nesna.com at OGNFH76J. Ray.
Yo. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back, man. We're doing a quick live stream. Big shout out to Della Dank. Yo, what's up, Della Dank? How you doing?
Yo.
Della Dank. And Thunder Loco, big shout out to y'all, man. Y'all in the house. Thank you guys for tuning in. What is popping, man? Hope you guys are having a good one. I just wanted to jump on the live and chop it up with you guys and give you guys I don't know if to say an update, but just keep you guys like up to date on whatever I'm seeing, whatever they're uploading, and this case of David, man, David, aka David Burke. It's out of control, and they still haven't arrested the guy. They haven't arrested the guy or anything like that, but people are waiting. And what's up, Dylan Dank, man? I was hoping to see you or have you yesterday on the was it yesterday? No, a couple of days ago on the line. But it's all good, man. You're here, so that's all that matters. And it is wild. Before we jump, I want to do a reaction though. I want to do a reaction to this video. I haven't seen it.
Rip Celeste #, justice for Celeste.
Yeah, rest in peace, Celeste, man. Celeste Rivas, rest in peace. And we're gonna check out what a video that I just seen right now, and I was like, you know what? Let me watch it together with the fam bam on the chat. Bro, I know, man. No worries, man.
Bro, I got so sidetracked, fam. My bad.
Man, things always pop out, so no worries. Same here. That's the reason why, I don't.
This case sounds bad after school movie.
Yeah, that's the reason why, like, I haven't been able to do my Friday live streams, man, and that's because things come up and you want to do something, but life, right, life comes up, but Thunder Loco says this case sounds bad after a school movie. Yeah, man, this case is tragic, man. It's very, very tragic, upsetting. And in many ways, right? In many ways, because that poor little girl didn't deserve it, and that's what she is. She was. It was a little girl. Some news outlets, they wanted to make it seem like a 13-year-old woman, and it's like, well, come on, man. She's 13. Well, no, it was 14, right? 14. I'm sorry, and she was missing. Celeste Rivas was missing since she was. They say 12, 13. Some people change it. Some people are saying that she knew David since she was like 10. That guy's a sociopath. It is, and they're saying that they're seeing him play video games. Right? He's on the chats. He's on the Discord chats and all that. But let me cover this case real quick. I've been meaning to bring some light to it, and then we're gonna jump into the Celeste Rivas case, because that one, I want to make sure I cover it. But this case, I've been meaning to, this other missing case, I've been meaning to also to talk about it, and I haven't been having that much time. And let me see. Let me read the chat over here. The local says Psycho Killer Pop Star. Yeah, you listen to his songs now, man. You listen. I mean, I didn't follow the guy that listened to his music, but now, like, I'm sure for the people that followed him and listened to his music, now it's sounding a little bit different, especially with the lyrics. I haven't been able to sleep. Not gonna lie, I feel heartbroken for this young girl. Man, I feel you, man, because this could have happened to anyone's, neighbor, anyone's, sister, daughter, sister, cousin, and I mean, this is something horrific. It was a little girl, man. She didn't get to the chance to live life, and they let her go. Another thing that I was thinking is, like, they one of the other things they gotta add to charge him, it's kidnapping, right? Because the little girl ran away one time, and then the second time she ran away again, and she was at his house, and many people knew it. So by him keeping her, she's like underage. By him keeping her in his house, that's kidnapping. Now, I mean, I don't really want to get, like, deep into it, like I said, right away. So I want to cover this one case, and that way we get more people to come in and chop it up. But do me a favor, guys, hit the like button. You guys know that it helps a lot. You guys know that we need to get the people here, get the algorithm cracking. And let me bring up this right here. So, all right. So, okay. So I want to bring up, maybe you guys are familiar with it. Some people are calling this case, the Hannah Kobayashi 2.0. And I guess that's the reason why maybe a lot of YouTubers are not picking it up. So, but I'm gonna cover it. I wanna go over it because the family is concerned. The family is worried about this young lady, and so here we go. So let me start it up. Yo, what's up, man? I am King Activate from Activate LA. Welcome. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna jump into this case of missing Florida woman Gana Kobrinski, and I'm mispronouncing the name. It is a little bit, difficult to pronounce. So, age 38, aka Angel Volnaya. It is this case concerning because she traveled from Florida. For what I hear, she was like living the van life, and she sent the mother a chilling last message before mysteriously disappearing during a cross trip, country road cross trip. And this happened on July the 5th of this year. Gana's mom received a photo. And this is the weird part. Pay attention, y'all. This is the very, very weird part. And and it says Gana's mom received a photo of a letter with GPS coordinates in Potrero, San Diego County. So this is by the border of the U.S. Mexico, and she received this is trippy, right? She received a letter and also two GPS coordinates. It's kind of like now I don't know if they have gone to look for her at these coordinates. This is kind of crazy, right? So let's keep on reading. It says, telling her to take over. So Ghana was telling the mother to take over her daughter's personal assets. Just a days later, Ghana's Jeep, Grand Cherokee, and camper trailer were found abandoned in a rural part of California. This is crazy. This is insane. So I'm kind of seeing why they're calling this the Hana Kobayashi case because I forget the people that are not familiar with the Hana Kobayashi case. It is the case of this young uh, woman from Hawaii. She was traveling to New York, had a stop here in L.A., and then she never made it to her next flight to travel from California to New York, and then she just disappeared. Right, the whole family came down here to California. They couldn't find her. Supposedly, they seen her in downtown LA with scary people, some scary men, and she was in danger. There were people were like scared of that she was being trafficked. The auntie made a whole drama, and they wanted to control the whole narrative, and it was a whole crazy thing. But if you guys go to my playlist, you guys can find the case. Bottom line, long story short, they even had they didn't have my ass like trying to investigate. I volunteered by myself to go look for her. So I was in the train, the metro down Union Station, and when I was coming back, it turned out that the authorities gave a speech on the TV, and they were like, "Hey, well, actually, she's in Mexico. She's down in Tijuana, so she was living her Rosarito life while everybody was looking for her." But that's the reason why maybe they're comparing it to the Hana Kobayashi 2.0, and I'm kind of using that to kind of bring awareness to this case because you never know, she might uh, be in danger, right? Because these message, this is a weird message, right? A photo of a letter. So I guess she took a picture of a letter, and then it had the coordinates with some GPS coordinates of San Diego, where they were able to find her track or GPS. I mean Jeep Cherokee trailer. Um, and this is weird. Since then, no one has heard from her. Authorities believe she might have crossed the U.S. Border near Tecate, Baja California. Many people. She looks like very free spirit, right? She looks very free spirit, and I seen some video and pictures that I guess she's like into um, religious and all that stuff. I'm doing this video quick just to bring awareness, but I am gonna make a whole episode on her and where I can give you guys more details, and I'll be playing some video and pictures on this current video so you guys can kind of get an idea of what she does and what she talks about. So her name, once again, her name is Gana Kobransky. I'm mispronouncing the name. I apologize. AKA Angel Bonaya, age 38, height 5'5", weight 100 pounds. Hair color is blonde, and they're saying that she may be wearing a wig. Many people, I mean, many females wear wigs nowadays, right? So, blue eyes, distinguished features. She has multiple tattoos on arms and hands. Okay. If you have any information, contact San Diego County Sheriff's Office immediately. This case is being followed closely by friends, family, and the community as the search intensifies. So there you guys have it, ladies and gentlemen. Man, let me know what you think about this whole case. And there she is, right here to the left, a picture of her face, and here's with her camper. And man, it's pretty crazy, pretty wild. That now, I mean, the thing that they can do here, best thing that the authorities can do is look at the cameras, right? The dates that she was gone and cloud chasing. That's what a lot of people are saying. They'll think too. You remember the Hana Kobayashi case, right? Um, so some people are calling it that, and I mean I don't want to make fun of the whole situation, but at the same time, we did a whole research, not only online, but we were boots on the ground, and I mean, people were like looking on cameras, and LA was going crazy, and they just came and trashed LA's name, and that was it. But um, so what they can do, the authorities can do, is the same thing they did with the Hana Kobayashi, and look at the cameras around the time that um, they think they should cross the border, and you can trace easily, man. If any of you, the guys or people watching this, you might know, or somebody sends you this video, email me. If you have more details, email me at infoactivatela@gmail.com. That is infoactivatela@gmail.com, and send me information there if you have, or if you're the family or the mom. Feel free to give me send me a message, and we'll get a contact of you guys, and maybe we can bring you guys also too on the show and talk about it, and so we can get the case out there. And if you're a YouTuber content creator, man, make some episodes on this, or bring light to or awareness, or even if you're not a content creator, give this video a share, and that way we can spread the news. So this is her once again, 38 years old, Ghana. Um, she what's her other she, she goes for by Angel what? Man, let me see. I got my bad, yo. Angel Volnaya. That's the other name she goes by. But that's it. All right. So now let's jump into the case here. So I wanted to come on the live and talk to you guys a little bit about certain things that I've been thinking about this whole time about the case, and one of them was that they need to add charges as to kidnapping, right? Because the homeboy, what I'm talking about David, and the case of let me see, let me get back, bring it back. Okay, Celeste Rivas. Let me see. Okay, I got my screen. So the case of Celeste Rivas, and people are calling her Celeste, but her name is Celeste Rivas, and I want to know what's going on with the family, man. I want to know. I mean, what happened? Some people are saying that maybe they don't. Um, I mean, maybe they're immigrants. Maybe that's why they couldn't, they didn't want to come alight, and maybe they don't want to jeopardize, or they don't have papers. I don't know, because I was kind of like, what does that got to do? And probably you guys are saying, Ray, what does that got to do with the case, right? Like, or Ray, you're one of those. The reason why I'm saying this is because I was trying to think why they didn't come on, step up, right? If I'm the brother, if I'm the whatever family, uncle, I would have, like, man, called authorities, and it's like, hey man, they got my granddaughter, or my niece, they kidnapped her, because this once the little girl was back at homeboy's spot at David's house, and she's in there, she's practically kidnapped. You know what I mean? And she's underage. If his music any good, at least. You know what? I listened to one of I think the homicide romantic, something like that. It sounds like a modern. I will say it kind of like gives me a feel of a Morrissey, more like modern. It has that vibe. That kind of like depressing, feel good music. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but most likely we're scared to speak up, right? Della Dank. I mean, And that's what I'm thinking. And I hope I'm not coming off as like, oh, this guy, come on, man, you're talking about immigrants. Why? And I'm not saying it like that. Um, I'm saying because I've been thinking like, why didn't they speak up? Why didn't come, go to the cops and keep on pushing it? I would, man. I don't care. I'll be at the door outside homeboy's door, and with the phone in my hand, calling the cops. Ice is so hot here for now, not even capping. Yeah, and it's sad, man. It's sad that they're doing ISIS out there, busting balls and getting people that are just trying to work, man. They're trying to make it seem like they're criminals, and then shout out to La Racita, man, and stay strong, man. Stay strong. Um, but so the friend now another thing that don't look on the whole chat that I've been thinking too. Where are the friends? Where are Celeste's Rivas friends? Like but I'm telling you, man, I've been thinking a lot, right? But I'm like, Ray, like she's only 13, maybe she didn't have no friends. It's like, dude, at that age with the computer, and all that, sure they had friends. And for what we know, right? From the Reddit chats and the Reddit in other TikTok and all that, they were talking about the friends on the Discord, chat. They all knew. So these people are also too guilty, man. I'm sorry to say it, but if you were in those chats and she was okay and but she was in the hiding, man. No, that is messed up because you should have sent her home, and especially knowing that she was a little girl, at that age, I know it's like that age where kids are like rebellious and they think they're like already old, like old enough to like I can do whatever I want, but it's like no, dude, like no, 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 and so I want to know, man, what's up with the friends? Where are the friends? And this is for the young generation, for you guys to take this as an example of like um that you think you have friends and they're gonna be there. I think especially at the young age, I was there, right? You feel like, oh, this is my friends, friends for life, and I'll always be there, and you don't understand, this is my best friend, and people change with time, and especially these times, cloud is crazy, man. Wanted to get famous, wanted to you know what I mean, feel praised and all that. I understand sometimes being on the internet, as a content creator, sometimes it feels good that people are like messaging you and this and that. But also too, you got to understand that there's a difference between um, people online, and also too, you can't trust all your friends, you know. And shout out to all my friends, my homegirls and my homies. Y'all know what's up. But at the same time, man, you always got to take care of yourself first. Was the singer making his videos that turned out too intimate in real life? They were pretty intense. Shout out to Sus Valentino.
Hey y'all!
Let me hit you with a Don DeMarco. Yo, Jezebel, how you doing? Let me give you a shout out, Jezebel. Welcome to the chat.
Hey y'all!
So she prayed her on Fortnite. Yeah, that's what I heard. And have you guys seen that picture of her where she's like super young, like a little? I mean, like she was a chamaquita, right? But she she looks so little, man. Like she was still little. Like maybe she grew up, and maybe maybe she could have been taller or whatever. Facial features probably changed, but still, that's a little girl, man. And I mean, like I've been saying in my previous videos, if you guys haven't seen it, man, this guy, didn't get no love, um, and he never got love, from chicks, and never got the attention, and then he gets famous. This little girl's jocking him. The little girl is like starstruck, and he feels like oh wow, finally somebody cares for me, and it's insane. It's insane. If this guy really cared for her, he should have returned her back home. Be like, hey man, you need to get your ass back home, and be a good role model. That's what he needed to be. Let's play this video, and we're doing a reaction to 5 creepy new details in dismembered teen found in David's Tesla case. So people are saying like, how come he's not arrested? How come the cops haven't done anything or nothing? We know what's up, man. We know that it takes a while, but for sure there's something going on, something big. I think this is more than just arresting him for Celeste Rivas. I think there's more crazy stuff, and we're not even ready for it. I'm myself included. I don't think I am ready for what's coming. And I think this week they are gonna drop the news, but I mean they can't arrest him, right, or take him to jail right now because I mean he's not proven guilty, right? Right now he's not even a suspect for what I hear. So, and for what I seen, whenever like they name them like they're not suspects or they're non-suspects, it means like they're kind of like holding them. They don't want to like name him a suspect because either they don't want him to run away or maybe they got something big. So innocent till proven, right? But I think everybody right now at this point really hates this person. So let me see. Look it up. It's called Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, 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 bro. Man, shout out to Deladank. Stockholm syndrome. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It is crazy, right? It is crazy. No, I mean, you broke it down. Deladank. That's it for the people that are asking. Even myself, right? Why was she there? Stockholm syndrome. Why did she go back? Stockholm syndrome. That is whoa. All right, let's check out this video. All right, here we go.
The investigation into singer David has intensified after the body of a teenager was discovered in a Tesla that has been linked to him. From canceled tours to social media revelations, new developments are raising serious questions about their supposed relationship and the ongoing probe. We are going to break down the latest developments in this case and what law enforcement is focused.
Also, too, they're waiting for the cameras. Remember those Teslas have multiple cameras for what I hear. So,
on her brother, I live in Lake Elsinore, bro. We are hurting over this.
Man, it hit really close. I mean, it hit town. It hit your town, man. Man, I bet everybody must be like just, like freaked out or just out of it, right? So, but also, too, guys, ladies and gents, don't forget there's the Tesla cameras. So, dude, when they give us the news, because they seen who did it. They seen who did this. And what's crazy is that they drove the car multiple times. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, guys.
Focusing on next with a retired detective. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. The investigation into Houston-born singer David, D4vd, real name David Anthony Burke, continues to widen after the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found decomposed in a Tesla reportedly registered to him. Authorities are still working to determine exactly what happened here, but the fallout is growing. There's an alleged former teacher of Celeste even coming forward with troubling claims about her connection to the singer, and we're going to get there. But first,
my bad. I was on mute. The whole case is just confusing. Yeah, it is.
we got to look back at what we know when this case first broke. We covered it here on Sidebar, but on September 8th, LAPD officers responded to Hollywood Tow on Mansfield Avenue. And this is after workers reported a foul odor coming from a car. That car was a Tesla Cybertruck with Texas plates registered to David. It had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills and towed. Inside the front trunk, authorities discovered dismembered human remains wrapped in a bag. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner identified the body as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who had been missing from Riverside County since April of 2024. According to reporting from KTLA, the Cybertruck had been there for about 5 days. The medical examiner's office said that Celeste's body was badly decomposed and appeared to have been in the vehicle for an extended period of time. Now, Celeste's cause of death.
Man, it was crazy. Like those days, remember the weather was super hot, man. It was like there was a couple of days that it was like 100.
Yes, it was her bracelet. There is pictures of her with it on.
Death was listed as deferred, but around the time that she went missing in 2024, there were rumors that circulated that David was dating a teen girl named Celeste. This is according to screen captures of messages that were posted in 2023 in chat rooms, namely Discord. Now, Celeste, who...
This is what I was telling you guys, man. People knew, her friends knew, and They let her down, man. Instead of them going and telling her like, "Hey, go back home," like.
Had just turned 15 the day before her body was found, was remembered by family as a wonderful daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her brother previously told NBC Los Angeles that she disappeared after leaving the family home to see a movie with David. Reports also noted a striking detail, that Celeste had a tattoo on her finger reading "shh," and multiple photos showed David with a nearly identical tattoo on his hand. Now, in the past week, both of David's remaining U.S. tour dates, San Francisco and Los Angeles, were canceled, along with at least 9 European shows that were listed on Ticketmaster, including an October 1st stop in Norway, a scheduled Grammy Museum.
Oh, yeah, I saw the teacher, too. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I'm going to speed it up so that way we get to the whole information. I know that he's giving a little bit of a context here, but most people know, you know, the whole, not the whole story, but what happened, right, with the test.
Game appearance in Los Angeles was also pulled from the venue's website. His label, Interscope, later told TMZ that all promotion for David, including his deluxe album release, was being paused. And David, by the way, was also the face of a new collaboration between Hollister and Crocs. But he was scrubbed from the campaign just days after it was launched, according to the New York Post. Now, a spokesperson previously told NBC News that David was cooperating with authorities, but to be clear, there's no formal arrest.
This is the part that everybody's saying, and this is the part where like I kind of like step back a little bit, and it's kind of like recycled information, right? It's like everybody's repeating the same things, and everybody was saying like the same, like, oh yeah, but he's cooperating with the cops. It's like, well, there's no proof that he was, and I don't know where people got this from, and I don't think he was cooperating. Maybe the lawyer was kind of like, hey man, you know, we'll talk to you guys, but. No, there's no proof.
Now, investigators are digging deeper into this case. We are too, and for that, I want to bring on a special guest. I want to bring in Matthew Irvine, who's a retired detective and law enforcement instructor. Thank you so much for coming here on Sidebar. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jesse.
So, based on your experience, how do police, by the way, when they're dealing with, and I wonder if this is a big issue in LA, but how do police deal with prioritizing cases when you have a celebrity, a famous person linked in some way to a crime? How do they deal with that?
Well, you know, ideally, there really shouldn't be any distinction based on the fame or wealth of the person implicated in a crime, whether they be the accused or the victim. In reality, there are always pressures that are brought to bear on investigators, be it from within their agency or from the media or the public. And the challenge for the investigator is to remember, as Harry Bosch says, everybody counts or nobody counts.
This is the first Bosch reference we've ever gotten on Sidebar, and you named it. Okay, when you're dealing with a body that's as decomposed as this, how do authorities analyze that evidence? How do they handle that evidence? And the idea that this body was severely decomposed, what does that tell you?
Well, it sounds like from the reporting we've heard so far, and again, I don't know anything about this case other than what's been publicly reported, it sounds like poor Celeste was likely in the front trunk of that vehicle for several weeks before her body was discovered, and there's even been reporting that she was dismembered. That certainly presents a challenge for the medical examiner and for investigators in terms of determining time and cause of death. Also raises some questions in terms of why the killer reportedly chose to dismember.
Dismember, yeah. That's another thing I've been thinking. Like, this is not like a regular murder, right? I mean, when they say that it depends what they do, but why dismember, right? Like, that sounds kind of like a serial killer type of stuff. That's why I was telling you guys, like, we are gonna get more surprises. You know what I mean? We're gonna get like some crazy surprise because, I mean, we can't say. I know people are saying that he's guilty. You know, take him to jail, and
lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
But he's, you know, to prove it, right? To prove it. And maybe what about if they're framing him? What about if supposedly, according to the news, he let other people drive that car when he was not around. So could he got in frame, but then at the same time he's tripping people out because he's online on Fortnite and on Discord, you know, playing video games, chatting, and all that, for what I'm hearing. So, but
we've been desensitized to not even realize the horrified situation we are witnessing.
Right. That's another thing. Like, we're reacting like, I mean, it doesn't hit us as much. You know, it doesn't hit us as much. This also too reminds me of the Devani Escobar case in Mexico, where they found her body and it was also too decomposed, and because it had like days there. And oh, that's another crazy case right there.
This young woman Sometimes the killer will dismember their victim because if they do that and disperse the remains over some space, and particularly if certain body parts aren't found, it makes it harder to identify the victim. Now, people that kill strangers don't usually need to worry about the victim being identified because there's nothing that connects to them. So the only time the identity of the victim is a problem for the killer is if there's some known relationship.
Look, I'm going to say this. I cover crazy stories all day, and I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes it makes me think about myself, my loved one's family. If something should happen, would my family still be able to cover the big expenses like the mortgage, utilities, the day-to-day bills? Look, I know life insurance, that's not.
But if this guy did that, dismember the body, so it would be difficult for it to be recognized, or people or authorities, it wouldn't be easy for them to know who it was. This guy was sloppy because they could find the hand with the tattoo, right? And man, Dylan and Chad, you guys are right, man. We're starting to get so desensitized that we're talking about this like, even like, well, he could have done this, he could have done that. This guy is sickening, man. We live in crazy times. We live evil times.
It's an evil world we live in.
Not something you want to be thinking about, but the truth is, life is hard to predict, and it's important to this is an online house, and some policies would have to have the means and the. Get your free quote at ethos.com/sidebar. That's ethos.com/sidebar. Also,
real quick, I'm going to be talking over the video, so if you guys want to go check it out, you guys can go ahead and check it out. Law and Crime, 5 creepy new details, and dismember. So you guys can find it. The channel is Law and Crime. You guys can go watch it after this. So, because I know a lot of people come in, we're getting a lot of new people. And some are like, hey, man, you're talking too much. It's like I'm doing commentary on it, so that's what it is, all right? And also, to disclaimer, everything we're saying is alleged, and it's also found on the news and all that. So, and if you're not 18 and over, if you are under 18, turn off the computer and go to sleep. And if you're 18 and over, welcome to the channel. Hit the like button. Yeah.
So, Matthew, someone would have to have the means and the opportunity to dispose of a body in this fashion and be able to deposit the body in this car. That, I wonder, is that something investigators are looking into? How can someone have the ability to do something like this? Who can have the means, the opportunity to do that, right?
Well, we have to kind of keep the Occam's razor principle in mind. I mean, this vehicle was registered to David Burke. It was apparently towed from across the street from a home that he was renting. So the simplest theory would be that this crime happened in or near the vehicle, and likely by David or somebody close to him with access to the vehicle. That said, as an investigator, we have to keep in mind until the investigation is complete and all the facts are in, that we don't know yet all the facts. We need to think about what we don't yet know. And as an investigator, while you want to trust your intuition and the wisdom of your experience and your common sense, we have to remember that just because you did 100 of these cases and it always turned out this way and the answer was X, in this case, the answer could still be Y. So we have to keep an open mind. But certainly there's a lot of publicly available information that seems to point to the involvement of David Burke in the death of this child.
I don't want to make assumptions because I know, like you said, we watch so many cases that you're like kind of like, oh, okay, I kind of know, or sounds like this, but this is crazy beyond.
By the way,
crazy.
what causes decomposition and how quickly does it happen?
Weather.
Decomposition is a natural process once the person is no longer alive, and it's affected by a lot of factors, including temperature and whether the body is protected in some way. In this case, in the front trunk of a vehicle in Los Angeles in the late summer, it's likely that decomposition would happen very rapidly.
I want to get into some of the key updates in this case from the last time we spoke. So, according to Forbes and ABC News, police executed a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home on September 18th where David had been staying. They seized a computer, they seized other items of evidence. Sources told the Los Angeles Times that David had been renting the home, which the LAPD confirmed to Forbes was on Doherty Place. That's not far from where the Tesla was reportedly abandoned. And Matthew, actually, let's just start there. What does a search like that tell us about where investigators are focusing? How significant is it that they removed electronics and other materials from this property? What does this tell you?
Well, in order to get a search warrant, you need to be able to articulate to a judge that you have probable cause to believe crime has been committed and that evidence of that crime is going to be found in the place that you intend to search. So just because you search somebody's residence or vehicle or other property doesn't necessarily mean that that person is your suspect in the crime. It simply means that that place is likely to have evidence related to the crime. So certainly they had to meet that legal standard in order to execute the search warrant. And I'm sure that in addition to looking for physical evidence, forensic evidence within the residence, as you said, they are seizing electronic evidence. And that's going to be critical in this case. I mean, just from what's already been reported publicly, there seems to be a lot of online communication between people who at least appear to be David and Celeste, going back maybe as far as 2022 when she was was 11 or 12 years old. There's also a lot of communication, again, just being posted online between David and other parties that appear to have some knowledge, at least of his relationship with Celeste. So the timeline is going to be really important here. And the electronic.
They're saying that this guy allegedly, right? Alleged, but according to what they're saying, the chats and then Reddit, and Facebook groups, they're saying that this guy also he was chatting to with other minors, right? That he got the way he met Celeste was the way he met these younger people that they're saying that he got into this Fortnite chat for like little kids. So this is alleged, right? But if there's other people and there's more victims, this is gonna blow up more.
Electronic record is going to be an important part of that timeline.
100%. And by the way, we also have to mention that while this was going on, deputies in Houston, they also confirmed to Click 2 Houston that they responded twice last week to David's Cypress, Texas home after security alarms were triggered. Now, the property records tie the house to a trust that resembles the name of his debut album, Petals to Thorns. There's no search warrants that have been executed there, which is interesting because, Matthew, how would law enforcement typically treat these kinds of security alerts in an ongoing investigation when you're talking about a different property? Are you surprised that property hasn't been searched yet?
Well, that's the first I'm hearing of this, but it's interesting to think that somebody may have tried to make entry to that property. That could be an effort by somebody to.
Oh, I can see people trying to like get in there, man. I mean, with the case of the Emmanuel Haro, do you guys remember? Rest in peace, the little kid, Emmanuel Haro, right? People were breaking into the parents' house or into the house, and it was crazy, so crazy that people were breaking into the house and giving tours, charging people tours to take them around the property. So I wouldn't doubt if people are going over there trying to break in, but this house, I mean, this area is like there's a lot of like rich people and all that. So shout out to Deladank, man. You know, saying that he went and paid the respects. Thank you for doing that. That is really 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 nice and kind of you, man. That is dope. Let me hit you with a done, DeMarco. There you go. Let's keep on watching this. I'm gonna come and check out the chat in a little bit. Meanwhile, we're gonna go over the video. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and if you can give this a share, that will be amazing.
Evidence that was there. That's the obvious connection to this Los Angeles-based investigation. As to search warrants, again, officer or detective needs to be able to articulate probable cause to a judge that there is evidence of a crime on those premises, and apparently at this point they don't feel like they've got that.
Now, I want your perspective on this, too. So TMZ obtained messages from a Discord moderator that was tied to David's online community. And the administrator insisted that they believed Celeste to be 18 or 19 years old and denied knowing that she was a missing, 15-year-old. Part of the message that was obtained by TMZ reads, "We, the Discord and Twitch staff teams, want to clarify what we knew and didn't know regarding Celeste. We were not aware of her true age or that she was a missing person. We also did not have any contact with her outside of what was made public. From what was shared in David's Twitch streams and from her role in the server, we understood her to be around 18 to 19. Now, it's not clear which administrator made this statement, but Matthew, that's interesting, right?
Interesting.
It is interesting, but I don't really know how relevant it is in terms of this criminal investigation. What's important is what David knew. And all the publicly available information appears to show that he knew her age, that he first communicated with her when she was a middle schooler, again, possibly 12 or 11 years old, and that when she left home with him in the first part of last year, she was only 13. And as you know, we've been talking about her a lot as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And as you said, it's important to remember she never lived to see her 15th birthday. Right. She was found in the front trunk of that car the day after she.
God bless her soul. She never, this guy's right, man. She never made it to her 15th birthday, right? She lost her life when she was 14. They found her the day after her birthday, for what I hear. Sad, man. No, dude, you're barely even, you're not even starting to live life, right? I think that age, well, at least to me, right, from like your early teens to like 18, 19, or even from junior high, right, junior high to high school, college, beginning of college. Those years are beautiful, man. Those years are like the years that you always look back and you remember, right? Because you're still pure and you're going into a stage of opening your eyes and seeing life for what it is, and it's a magical, beautiful time, and she did not get to fully experience that. She didn't get to experience it at all because the world that she lived, it was isolated, and it's tragic.
Should have turned 15. So this really is a child. And throughout her relationship with David, whatever it was, she was unquestionably a child.
The child.
And that's the point, because TMZ
Thank you.
reports that there is this newly...
Man, shout out to this guy, man. Thank you for saying it, because they were trying to portray her as her being a woman. I'm like, man, are these guys smoking or what the
surfaced video that apparently shows David and Celeste together on a live stream interacting with fans. And in the clip, Celeste can be heard prompting David to respond to a comment. That video was recorded in January of 2024. You go back to that timeline, Matthew, of when they said she went missing. Is that video going to be key for investigators?
Absolutely. And that's just one of many images, moving and still, that have been popping up all over social media in the last couple of weeks. There seems to be a really strong digital footprint showing them in various locations, backstage at his concerts, doing his live stream, and various still images taken in various places, going back at least to early 2024. And again, as you said, that was several months before she left home, and while she was still very much a 13-year-old middle school kid.
Hey, man, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. And I'm going to get me a coffee for this Friday. Once again, thank you so much. Let me hit you with a Don DeMarco. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's keep on watching.
Well, I tell you what, it's not just investigators looking into this. There have been a lot of online sleuths that have been digging into David's posts on social media as well as his songs to see if there's any clue about what might have happened here. There's an unreleased song that was leaked last week. It's reportedly called Celeste_Demo on Finn, as in,
This one is creepy. This is the previous, the leaked one, right? Because nowadays you don't, they say the leaked song, but you never know, man. Maybe he even released it, But the lyrics, hopefully they play the lyrics.
Finished. This is according to KTLA and TMZ. And in David's biggest song, called Romantic Homicide, David sings, "In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true." We all know whether or not lyrics will play a role in a criminal case is a controversial and constitutional issue as well. Just putting that to the side, though. In a 2022 interview, Forbes reports that Burke had said that those lyrics are figurative, saying, "I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died." Online sleuths have also uncovered a TikTok video made by another user, but it was apparently reposted by David, where the person in the video is chopping up chicken, and words on the screen read, "Me if I see her talk with other dudes." So David's label, Interscope Records, along with UMG, Sony Music Publishing, Wasserman, they have paused all promotional activities around his upcoming deluxe album and his career overall, basically. His last Instagram post celebrates the release of the deluxe version of his album, Withered, which was supposed to come out on September 19th. Forbes reported it hasn't appeared on streaming services. Matthew, a few things here. First of all, the lyrics, I mentioned, I've talked about cases involving musicians and criminal cases and whether or not the lyrics can be introduced into evidence as intent, or it shows their knowledge or what have you. But do you think that there's something of value there, or are people maybe reading into it too much?
I think there's certainly something of value. I mean, we need to be careful in treating song lyrics as autobiographical or confessional. Johnny Cash saying that he shot a man in Reno just to watch him die, and nobody thinks Johnny Cash killed anybody. But as you said, it's the totality of what he is putting out there, not just the lyrics to Celeste or Romantic Homicide, but the posts of chopping chicken. There's another post that had to do with jealous rage when he finds out she's had prior relationships. He created a sort of alter ego for his latest album and tour called Itami, who is pictured in a blood-spattered shirt. And David Burke described him in an interview as his sort of evil, homicidal alter ego. Supposedly, there's a video for Romantic Homicide that shows Itami murdering a girl. So is it proof of anything? No. But it's certainly information, and certainly part of the total picture that investigators and prosecutors are going to have to look at.
Yeah, that's I mean, and in this case, there will be like a lot of artists, right, that will be blaming for stuff. This is the part where I kind of relate his music kind of like to Morrissey in a way, because Morrissey's music, it's a little, like I'm not a good singer, but that song that says if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a beautiful thing to die, or something like that. If you really listen to it with that like creepy kind of like mentality, then you're gonna be like, okay, what
Why
the
do you
hell
think
is
there's
this?
been a full stop pause on his career? Is it because, hey, listen, from a PR perspective, from an optics point of view, as this investigation's going on, we as a business, we can't continue to promote his music. We can't, have any role in this whatsoever. We want to distance ourselves. We want to let this cool off. Or does it signal to you that there is something going on in the investigation, that there is a development, that something is about?
Oh man, I feel you. It's hard. It's hard not to get invested in this case, man. Especially you, man. You live in the area. I mean, it is. I mean, it doesn't matter, what you do, where you go. You're gonna be probably the neighborhood. Everybody's speaking about it, right? In your area and all that.
About to happen. It would help in the sense, now you know where he is, and if you need to further question him, he's not going on tour.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's not leaving the U.S. As to the sort of business decisions, I mean, he right now looks like somebody who's in a lot
Welcome
of
to the
trouble.
live stream,
All
Lupe.
the available information right now seems to point to him. I can't imagine any publicity conscious business wanting to continue an association with him or wanting to promote him at this time. That, though, is a different calculus than is he guilty of homicide, and can that be proven beyond a reasonable doubt? So there's the optics right now, which seem to point very strongly to his guilt. That may yet prove to be the case, but we're still a long way off from, even at this point, apparently probable cause to arrest, much less guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
We got to talk about this next development. It's pretty wild, okay? A Southern
Oh.
California teacher who is, by the way, not yet been named by law enforcement.
Oh, this is the video you guys were talking about earlier, right?
Revealed, or apparently revealed in a TikTok video, that Celeste had once been his student at Lakeland Village Middle School. In that video, which was recorded by a student in his class, he can be heard recounting that Celeste allegedly told other students that she met David online, again, when she was 13 years old, ran away with
there you
him,
go.
was eventually found by police in Hollywood, and then disappeared again in 2024, May of 2024.
This is the part that I was telling you guys, man. And she disappeared once, and then she disappeared again, and she was at the house. And then where was the family? The family didn't do anything. If the family wanted, they and their friends, they could have gone outside the house, called the cops, and be like, "Hey, man, this guy's got my daughter kidnapped. She's a little child, 13 years old, 12 years old. I need to get her back home safe." But nobody went the second time. There was nobody accused them that we know of. Obviously, nobody did it, right? Because she was still there. But let's see this video, and then for the video that they're gonna talk about right now, the teacher, he might mention it, but in case he did, they don't mention it. This video, because people were pissed off at the teacher. They're like, "Oh, he just wants clout and this and that." But actually, this video was not recorded after they found Celeste Rivas' body. This video, the teacher was talking, and the student recorded it. But this was like back in April, something like that. They might say it. So he was not cloud chasing. I kind of even thought a little bit there for a second. I was like, man, why is he like, But we're easy and fast to judge, right?
And the teacher said that he even spoke with students at the time who told them that she had been in contact with David. TMZ says they spoke with this teacher who told them that he shared the story with his class as a cautionary tale about the dangers of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew, given this teacher's account or alleged account of Celeste, running away, her interactions with David, what are...
Oh, they did that, man. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh on the family, but I think just like anyone else, right? It kind of this whole case, pisses you off, right, and it frustrates you. So my apologies to the family and friends.
The challenges that this type of information may present for investigators? How seriously do law enforcement agencies weigh this kind of statement?
So, a video taken by a student of a middle school teacher in his classroom is not in itself proof of anything. It's information. It's not evidence. Question is, can this teacher's account be corroborated in other ways? And again, a lot of what's coming out now is just coming out on social media. And sometimes it's multiple levels of hearsay, somebody posting on TikTok, something that they...
Yeah. Shout out to Jessica. Yeah, that's the way it sounded. And man, I'm glad this teacher did that. And I'm glad, the student recorded him. Because at the same time, it's the type of video, you want to share with not only students in the younger generation, but also to parents. Because parents are too naive, right? In this case, the family knew she had a boyfriend, right? Celeste had a boyfriend, but they never asked how old is this guy, or I don't know if they did. But you got to be involved in your kid's life, man. Me myself, my kids, my daughter, whatever, son, it doesn't matter. If they're at that age, no, man. I understand now my parents how they were strict and all. And even myself, I wasn't like wilding like that, right? That I'll go um, disappear, but at the same time, I don't know what Celeste was going through, and I'm not accusing the family of putting her through anything because at that age, we start to think like we're mature, we don't need our parents, and we can do it. We're thinking, we're smart now.
They're screenshotting off of Reddit or Discord. But it seems like the family is also telling authorities that indeed Celeste left home initially in April of 2024. That's when that missing poster was created. It describes her as leaving home, last seen wearing Hello Kitty.
2010. She was born in 2010, man. To me, it feels like 2010. It feels like a couple of years, man. 5 years, But no, it was like, man, 6 years ago was the pandemic. 5 years ago, right?
Sandals, that she came back for about a month or so, and that she left again in May, and that she was last seen by the family going someplace with David. So if that is indeed what the family is saying, as has been reported, that would jibe exactly with what this teacher is alleging. And that is useful information for authorities when it's not just alleged, but also corroborated.
And the fact that this information surfaced on social media, does that affect how investigators handle it?
It's funny, trying to educate myself about this case, I realize that most of the up-to-date and detailed reporting is on social media, on Reddit, on Discord, on TikTok, on Instagram. And that is a challenge for investigators because these are new media formats, quite frankly. A lot of robbery homicide detectives are middle-aged people like myself who aren't really savvy in these newer forms of media. So I would absolutely hope that there is attached to this investigation somebody who is a lot more social media savvy and probably, frankly, a whole lot younger than me, because that's really what this investigation is going to have to include in order to really stay on top of all the leads.
Yeah, and trying to corroborate that story would be interesting too. Could the TikTok post itself be treated as potential evidence? Is it just more of a lead that they then follow? What do you think?
It's all potentially evidence. Again, the question is, can it be verified? Can it be corroborated? There's a whole lot of stuff out there. Like I said, some of it is second and even third hand. It's TikTokers reposting things from Discord or things from Reddit. And so all of that is not inherently all that reliable.
Yeah, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Big shout out to you. Appreciate it.
But if it matches what Celeste's family shares, what Celeste's friends are able to corroborate, what David's digital footprint informs them of, what the forensic evidence shows, now you're starting to put together a case.
Now here's the point. Through all of this, Celeste's family is left grieving. In a message that was posted alongside a GoFundMe campaign, the Rivas Hernandez family wrote, "As many of you know, Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been identified as the body found last week. She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss. They are seeking help to lay her body to rest. Any funds you are able to donate are greatly appreciated." Matthew, do you think an arrest is imminent?
I gotta get that link and post it on the description. If you guys can remind me, I'll put it right after this live stream. If not, just drop a comment, and I won't forget. But doing this quick live stream, and just in case, I would like to at least help the family like that, and post the link and share it throughout the live streams and videos that I cover the case. Thank you guys. Let's keep on watching.
Here, I mean, we started this case off by there was a question of whether or not they were even able to identify the human remains. Came from the tattoo. They were able to ultimately identify this body as belonging as that of Celeste. Do you think that there's going to be an arrest soon?
I can't speak to the timeline of an arrest. I would say this, that the men and women in LAPD's robbery homicide division are the best of the best at what they do. They're handpicked from an agency of 9,000 or so officers. In terms of the urgency to make an arrest, is there a public safety risk here? There doesn't appear to be. Is there a flight risk here? Apparently not. As you said, they know where he is, and he's not going to be able to go anywhere. So the caution would seem to be the best course of action here. This is a case that you want to put together rock solid, bulletproof before you make an arrest. And I imagine that's what the folks in robbery homicide are doing. I also wanted to thank you for saying what you did about the Rivas Hernandez family, because we are, as a society, fascinated with true crime, and that's understandable. They're often fascinating cases, but we're only able to tell these stories. We only hear these stories because, as you said, somebody has been terribly harmed, and the people that love them are grieving. And so we need to keep that in mind and not aggrandize or mythologize the people that do this harm, but instead keep our focus on.
I think he's guilty, And I was listening to radio. I know because I listen to from radio to watch TV to whatever I found on the internet and Reddit and to try to find as much information as I can. But they're saying that if he's not, even if he's not guilty of unaliving her, there's a lot of charges that they got on this guy. So, but just like everybody else, man, we think he did it. You know what I mean? Or if there was more people involved, he was part of it. Let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know. Maybe you guys are saying, no, Ray. Why would you doubt it? No, I don't doubt it. I'm just kind of giving you guys my point of view, my 2 cents, so to say.
On the victims and people that love them.
I appreciate that. This is a tragedy. This is a real loss. They're experiencing it each and every day. And let me tell you, as the investigation continues, and if there's an arrest, the legal process begins, that pain only gets worse because now they have to live through it and they have to learn more details about the crime. And that's really, really tough. But at the same point, we're trying to amplify it. If people have information, know something, that's what investigators need at this point. And even like we talk about something like the teacher, will that play into evidence? Will that be a factor? Will that be part of the investigation? We shall see. Matthew Irvine, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I loved having you on. We'll make sure to have you back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being on.
And that's
there you guys have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was once again 5 creepy new details in dismembered teen found in David's Tesla. You can find that at a Law and Crime Network channel. Shout out to them. And so let me read the chat, man. Let me read the chat, because I really want to know what you guys were saying, and at the same time, it is important, So I saw chat. Shout out to Jezebel and Deladank, Lupe, Thunder Loco, and the whole chat. I know a lot of people, just like myself, right? I go to live streams and there's times that I want to like drop a comment. There's times that I'm just in the background. So shout out to the people that are in the background. I'm not mad at you. Sometimes I want to just sit back and chill. So but let me know where you're watching from so I can give you a shout out, and from Activated Late and myself to you guys. And okay, what it was according to her brother? Let me see. Boom, boom. Okay, boom. Okay. Oh, I can't highlight the chat from here, but from here I can watch. Check it out. Boom. Okay, can't even focus. Okay. Okay, it says can't even focus on the homework. I understand, man. Just gotta be strong. Gotta be strong. Yeah. What is being said on your side of town, the Ladank? I'm gonna go live on Friday, so hopefully, I'll have the phone line open, or I'll try to have the panel open. I think maybe have the panel open, right, for people, so people can come on the panel and give their 2 cents. The teacher sounded like he was schooling the students. Yeah, he was doing something good. He actually did something good, and also to the person that recorded that, because these are the type of cases, man. If your kids or cousins, brothers, little sisters don't want to listen to, these are the kind of cases that you show to them. You talk about that, share and be like, hey, man, I know you're smart, and but you got to be careful because this is going on. And once again, shout out to Della Dang, because he mentioned, that this is all part of the Stockholm syndrome, and that's exactly what it is. That's what she was back. She felt the Stockholm syndrome, right? That was in man, I forgot. Was it Norway or it was somewhere in Europe, right? There was a bank robbery, and at the end, the bank robber he had everybody kidnapped, and at the end, even the people that was kidnapped and the people from the bank ended up protecting the the bank robber because they ended up feeling bad for him. So it was kind of like instead of like at the end seeing the bank robber as a bad person, they were seeing him as the victim, and maybe Celeste was seeing him as feeling bad for him, right? They identify maybe this guy was like so depressed, his music and all that that he there we go. Okay, I got the chat here. Boom. There we go. All right. So she started defending him. It got to the point where she was like, okay, I understand you, and sometimes we can be like that. Um, there's David's the suspect number one in my book. Boom. I agree with that based on the current evidence. Number two suspects, David and team. Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. It was Jezebel's message earlier that it said that the team maybe had something to do, right? The label. My favorite artists always end up dead or criminals. Oh, that ain't cool, man. Shout out to Mason. What's up, Mason? Man, let me hit you with this.
Let's go.
There's a picture of a wig with that Celeste was wearing when she was 9 or 10. What the really? Then he was wearing it. He's like 18, 19. Man, jeez, man, that's crazy. I'm on Instagram, King Activate. If you guys want to follow me there, and you guys can send me pictures there. That's King Activate, and then there's the Activate LA Instagram too. And I want to see those pictures. But that is freaky, man. This guy wearing the wig too. He was hella part of it. If he didn't, but I think he did, dude. Yeah. You know what's gonna be super crazy is if he did it. What's gonna be sick is that he did it and he's acting like whatever, right? Like right now, like, well, we don't know, right? He's behind closed doors. We're thinking he's okay and like whatever, when maybe right now, all this is killing him from the inside because he knows. He knows what he did. I mean, was this? Some people are saying that this could have been a ritual. Could be, man. Could be. I mean, or it could be that he let himself in his lyrics, right? He manifested whatever he was talking about, and sometimes you got to be careful. You got to be careful because words are powerful. Uh, this generation is built different. Different though, they have no respect at all. A lot of them play the part for their parents, but are a whole different kid when they're not around. Exactly. He cried at one of the concerts. Yeah, this generation's different, man. There's that trend going on. 6'7", and it's like people are asking like, what's 6'7"? I was gonna make a video of it. I'm not sure, just to for the older generation. 6'7" is kind of like it's just doesn't have any meaning. It's kind of like a little, yeah. They're calling it not brain fart, but it's it's just a word that you say, with at the end of something. So people are kind of like, what's 6'7"? 6'7". I think it comes like from a rapper for this character. Um, and he has a song that says 6'7", and then a football player he did a TikTok and it went viral. Anyway, so it doesn't mean nothing. It's just kind of like it's just a word, like a phrase that you throw in, kind of like dos tres in español, right? Dos tres, um, or kind of like that what is that pinche cumbión bien loco. You know how you just repeat the phrase just because. So, but anyway, let's get back to this over here because the chat fam, I know you guys are chatting and dropping some comments. Is more now, and they obviously could be better people, better parents. I think, yeah, man, there could be better parents, but what's messed up is that parents are not. They don't want to go to jail, or they're scared to reprimand their kids. They're but you got to understand, like they say, man, you are not your kid's friend. You're your kid's friend once they turn 18, before they're 18, you're their coach, their guide, their protector. You can't be talking to your kid like you're the friend, the buddy, like hey, what's up, homie? Yeah, bro. No, and I see some parents, talking to the kids with bro, it's like, dude, like no, no, you got to show that they got to respect, and you got to show them boundaries. That's one of the first things, boundaries, and life is hard though. It's hard. I can't just be saying, you got to teach your kids this, do that, or here's a book, a manual for you to be a great parent. Because me myself, I'm still learning, to be a parent. But for sure, man, for sure, you as a parent got to remember that you are not your kid's friend. You're their protector. You're there to coach them. You're there to take care of them. You're there to be for their wins. You're there for them for when their their losses, when they they get their heart broken, when they don't succeed at something. You're there for you to catch them, to give them, motivation, and be there for them. But yeah. So says these kids will call the cops on you real quick. Follow us. Yeah, well, I'll be honest, they'll think, and when, knock on wood, because I don't want no kids, being rebellious with me, but I'll probably will end up going to jail many times, man, for my kids, because I think sometimes they need a wake up call that, that, if you go to jail, but at least, like they know you're there, they know you're there, and you got to talk to your kids too, also too, about their friends, because like I was saying earlier, right at that age 13 or your early teens, high school, junior high, you think your friends, oh, my friend, it's like my brother, and we think the friends are always gonna be there, and maybe they are, like I tell some of my homies and homegirls, it's like, you know what I mean, I'm your friend, we're good friends, but I'm not always gonna be there, even if I wanted to, even if your friends wanted to, there's gonna be a day that your friend is not going to be able to help you, or if you're lucky enough to find a good friend. But the only friends, like my mom said, los únicos amigos que tienes son tus padres. You know what I mean? It's your parents. That's the only friends that you have. And I know I'm kind of contradicting myself right there with the saying and what I was saying about you're not their friend, but as when it comes to trusting them, trusting you, and who's going to be there for your kids and kids, the only people that are going to be there for you are your parents. It even doesn't matter what you do to them. So be careful out there. Be careful. I know I got a little deep. I got a little deep, but these generations need to go back. Need to go back and if they don't have a role model, look for a good role model. If you don't have a good role model, look for a good role model, man. And be careful also too with those that you see and think that they're role models, because also too we got a lot of evil people out there, and it's crazy. But to me, he's guilty. He cried at one of the concerts. That's part of the deceptiveness, right? Had a casket and held a funeral. That was now this was insane right here. I saw that. I saw the casket, and what was insane, it was the excuse me, was the shirts, right? That they had blood. But what's crazier too, man, like his whole following could have became a cult if it wasn't already a cult, or is, right? Because for you to be wearing, or you having your favorite singer, that to have you wear those shirts with blood, that's insane, man. And that's insane. That's So be careful to the younger kids, man, younger generations. Be careful who you follow. David said he wanted to work hard for 4 years, then disappear off the grid to an island. His label wanted him to make the next big artist for his younger generation. I don't think the label will want him to just disappear off the grid, man. When you're a label or a business, a company, and you have an investment, you're not just gonna want your investment to make an album or two and then disappear. No, they want to squeeze the juice, whatever they can. They want to get as much as they can out of you. Jezebel said, so Celeste would have just been a huge obstacle. Boom. Where's the exactly? Exactly. Now you guys are on it today. Selling the bloody T-shirts, like, bro, it's fucking weird. Now, Dilladank, let me ask you guys a question. Okay, let me ask you and everybody in the chat. Do you think that was blood? There's a lot of stuff that people are not talking about, right? Could have been blood. Maybe if you bought a shirt, let me know. Maybe you should go take that shirt to get for them to check it, man. If the DNA tested, because you never know. You never know. I'm telling you, man. Like Future said, right?
It's an evil world we live in.
Just by her body and his car is good enough to hold him. Probably costs. Yeah, but if and I'm with you guys. I think he's is guilty. But then when they see the cameras and it's not him, that's the thing. But I think even if it's not him, sorry, but let me see what it says. And he even post about it, like what a weirdo. Yep. These kids call the cops. Okay, this is the chat already read it. But eventually, I think if someone else, he had other people do this with him or help him, eventually they're gonna rat. That's why I ain't got no kids. They be in jail. Yeah. Hey man, if don't go to jail. Don't go to jail. I love my parents. Only real ones I know. Absolutely right, brother. Yeah, man, they're all the only ones. They're your only friends, man. The only people that are gonna be there. Even if you do stuff, man, to them you're still that little kid, man. To them, they still see you as the little baby, or the little 1-2-year-old. They don't see you as the age. They don't see you guys. This is not only for Della Thing, but general speaking, everybody. To them, we're still that little rascal, right? I was thinking that he's possessing the kids probably. And this guy was probably posing as a teenager too, right? It's no longer a conspiracy when things end up being true, man. Yeah, this is. I think he has business accomplices. He has to. He has to. I don't think for sure he did this by himself. And the reason why I think, right, is because the neighbors were saying that car was parked in different places. It was being moved. So that right there tells us that who was moving it. Think about it. Think about it. Like, who was moving that car? And it was sick about it. What was disgusting was that her body wasn't there, man. How fucked up you gotta be to be driving the car knowing you have a body? Now, did these people know there was a body too? Because that was very sloppy, right? And I hate to give my 2 cents on I would have been like driving it down to T and this and that, because I don't even want to put myself in that disgusting situation. But they were like super sloppy. Now that finger with the tattoo, they're saying yeah, that was her. Because are they saying that because of the tattoo, or did they actually identify her? See, there's a lot of things going on here that we're like looking at it, jumping into it, or you're listening, but at the same time we're not questioning, right? Because they're saying that's her, but at the same time, they haven't done DNA tests. So now that's got to be different too, right? Because it could be maybe DNA tests for them to know the cause of death. I don't know. I don't work in forensics. I just run this channel here. I think, but how do they know? And if they haven't done any tests on that, I mean, well, man, and this is just to think about it, man. I'm kind of like, it's kind of grotesque, and I apologize. That's why I did my disclaimer. If you are under 18, please turn off the computer. And if you're over 18, welcome to the channel. But because it's pretty graphic what I'm gonna say, but I mean, obviously they recognize the body because of her head, right? And I can't believe I'm saying this.
It's an evil world we live in.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gents, Damas and caballeros, I'm gonna bounce. I wanted to do a quick live stream. I'm glad I jumped on the live. I got the chance to say what's up to you guys. And I'm gonna see you guys on Friday. Tune in. Make sure you guys tune in. I'm gonna try to go live around this time maybe 9:30, 10. I know it's kind of late, but yeah, I got to take care of the fam bam, and also too, I got a bunch of stuff that I'm doing. But I most definitely want to chop it up with you guys. And once again, thank you guys. You guys make the show fun. You guys, make the show a good show for me, and at the same time, you guys have been dropping some really good points, really good, thoughts here, man. And so it's boom. So shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to Jezebel, Deladank, Lupe. Let me see who else was here. Shout out to Mariah 420. I know I've been seeing her tune in here and there. Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you, Deladank, for the super chat. Thank you guys, everybody for supporting. Times are hard, I know. So at the same time, if you want to support, I know times are hard. Another way you can support is go drop a comment after I finish this live stream. Go drop a comment or your favorite emoji on the comment section, and that helps with the algorithm. So that way YouTube knows, okay, there's people over there, and they can recommend this live stream. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Thunder Loco, shout out to Thunder Loco, and also to Ban Garcia, and shout out to the rest of the people on the chat. I know sometimes people get a little nervous or shy. So no worries, no problem. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to X. If you guys want to follow us on X, it used to be Twitter as Activate LA. I upload videos there that I cannot upload here on YouTube because YouTube is and I understand that. I know they're trying to make it a little bit more family friendly, and I don't want young kids to see what I'm posting here. But I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Much love, respect, man. All right, you guys take care. Peace. Activate. Shout out to Sus Valentino too. Thank you so much. Sus, I apologize for the mystery.